Hello everyone, this is grade 3, module 7, lesson 23 homework. For number 1 it says, Rosie draws a square with a perimeter of 36 inches. What are the side lengths of the square? So if I draw a square in here, and I know that the perimeter equals 36 inches, I know that that's all 4 sides added up. And I know where the square, each side is equal, so there's 4 of the same number, meaning I'm going to take 36 and divide it by 4. What that's going to do is it's going to give me one side length, and if I know one side length, I know them all. And I'm going to put n there to equal my number, and I'm going to get 9 inches. So each of these sides is 9 inches long. And there's my answer statement there to show it. Let's take a look at 2. Judith uses craft sticks to make 2 24-inch by 12-inch rectangles. What is the total perimeter of the 2 rectangles? So I'm going to draw this, and I know it's 12 inches by 24 inches. And she made 2 of them. So I'm going to find first the measurement of 1. And it doesn't say anything about them being pushed together. So what I'll do is I'll draw them separate. And I know that if I find the perimeter of one of these, I already know the perimeter of the other because of the same one. So off to the side, I'm going to show my work here. And I'm going to have the perimeter equaling 2 times 24 plus 2 times 12. Or I could do 24 plus 24 plus 12 plus 12. So if I do 24 plus 24, or 2 times 24, same thing, I'll get 48 inches plus 12 plus 12, or 2 times 12, which is 24 inches. And then I'll show that work off to the side. And I'll get 72 inches. Now, that's the perimeter of each. But they want to know the total perimeter of the 2 rectangles, so I'm going to add those 2 together. Or I could multiply them by 2, depending on which way you want to go with it. So I get 144 inches. The last thing I need is my answer statement. And there's my answer statement right there at the top. The total perimeter is 144 inches. Let's glance down to 3. An architect draws a square with a rectangle as shown below to represent a house that has a garage. What is the total perimeter of the house with its attached garage? So what we want to do first is get some dimensions on here. I know that if this measurement right here is 55 feet, this one is going to be 55, and that's good because we got the whole part shown there. It says the garage is going to be square because I see the house is a rectangle, and I know that because they're 2 different lengths for the length and width, 2 different measurements. So the garage has to be a square, meaning all the sides are going to be 30 feet. So I have this, all of this, and right here. The only thing I'm missing is that little piece. And to use it, I know that this part of the garage is 30, and this whole line length is 40 because I can see it right here on this side. So I'm going to take 40 and subtract the 30 out that I know and try to find this missing piece right here that I absolutely need to find my perimeter. And that's the part in black that I need. And I know that 40 minus 30 is 10. So that's 10 feet. So now I can find the total perimeter of the house by adding 10, 30, 30, 30, 55, 40, and 55. So make sure when you do this, you're going to put down, if you're going to add these, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different numbers that you're adding up to get to this. Let's take a look at page 2. And let's start with number 4 on page 2. Manny draws 3 regular pentagons to create the shape shown below. The perimeter of one of the pentagons is 45 inches. What is the perimeter of Manny's new shape? So when they tell us that the perimeter of 1 equals 45 inches, and we know it's a regular pentagon, meaning all sides equal, and the pentagon tells me 5 sides. So I know one of them is 45. So if I want to find the length of just one of these sides, which will really help me out with this, I'm going to take that 45 and I'm going to divide it by 5, because a pentagon is 5-sided, and if it's regular, all the sides are equal, which means I'm going to fair share that 45 out to 5 different sides. They're all going to be the same. And I know if I divide that out, and a lot of you can probably do that in your head, it's going to be 9 inches. So I can now go in, and what I'll do is I'll zoom in here, and we're going to add in our 9. And I'm going to write the number. You should put the units on there. I want to make sure I can fit everything. And that tricky one right in there, I want to make sure it's 9 and not 99. So now I have all of my sides for the perimeter labeled, because remember, perimeter is just the measurement or the distance around the outside or the boundary or the border of the shape. So now I'm going to count those 9s. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 sides at 9 inches apiece, or 11 9-inch sides, will get me my perimeter. And it'll be 99 inches. So what I could have done for that is I could have added or done repeated addition and written down 9 or 11 9s. But I think multiplication is much easier for this one. So I'll put my answer statement in right now, right where it needs to go. And there it is right there. It says Manny's new shape has a perimeter of 99 inches. Let's take a look at 5. And it says Johnny uses 2-inch square tiles to make a square as shown. What is the perimeter of Johnny's square? Well, I know that if this is 2, then this is 2, 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 and so on. Because when it says 2-inch square tiles, this length is 2, and all the sides have to be 2 because it's a square. So now all I would have to do is count how many 2s there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 sides at 2 inches apiece means 12 times 2. And my perimeter is going to be 24 inches. And of course, the answer statement down below to state that. So whenever we talk in terms of squares, we know that all sides are going to be the exact same, which is why it made that problem go a little bit quicker. So let's move down to the very last question. And it says, Lisa tapes 3 7-inch by 9-inch pieces of construction paper together to make a happy birthday sign for her mom. She uses a piece of ribbon that is 144 inches long to make the border around the outside edges of the sign. How much ribbon is left over? So an in-depth two-part question. And I know since this is, we're talking about rectangle pieces here, since this one is 7, this measurement 7, this measurement 7, and this measurement is 7. And since this is where the tape is, I don't need to write those dimensions in because we're talking about perimeter, because she's going to put ribbon around the outside to make a border, meaning it's going around the outside. It's the perimeter of the shape. Now, for rectangles, if I know this side is 9, then I know this side is 9. And since these are all the same rectangles, because it said she used 3 of these, I can now write 9s in for all of those. So to find the perimeter, again, the perimeter is the distance around the outside or the boundary or the border of the object. So now I'm going to add these up. And I'm going to do this a little differently because I'm starting to think that I can do this a lot quicker. I see that there's 2 7s. And I know I have to add that to the other sides. And I know that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9-inch borders there. So if I multiply this, 2 times 7 is 14 inches. And that's this side and this side. And 6 times 9 is 54. And that's all of this and all of this. Now if I add those, I'm going to get 68 inches. That's the perimeter of the whole sign. But we have that last part. She uses 144 inches of ribbon to make the border. We want to know if she just does the border, how much ribbon is left. So I'm going to subtract out the amount she uses for the perimeter of this birthday sign, and that's going to tell me what she has left over. And I know I'm going to have to decompose here. A couple of different times. And I'm going to be left with 76 inches. And there's my answer statement right there. There are 76 inches of ribbon left over. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching, and good luck on the rest of your homework.